Happy New Year to you all, and welcome back to the Shack and Riviera RC. Today, I'm going to go through my crawlers and trail trucks. Back in the pandemic age, if we go back that far, I found this beastie, this body on eBay. I've owned Lada Nivas in the past. I've still got a Lada Niva sat in the garage. Needs a little bit of work, but I had to have the body. Unfortunately, it came and didn't actually say what the wheelbase was. But in the meantime, decided I wanted to see if I enjoyed getting into the crawling. I used to, when I was younger, have a CC01 Pajero hard body, which, again, I wish I'd never got rid of that. We all regret stuff that we binned back in the day, don't we? But I went for cheap and cheerful FTX Outback 2. Brilliant out of the box. Love it. So we bought that one. I say we. Andy bought one alongside. I think he had the Bronco body on his. And that started the spiral of emptying bank accounts, but getting more crawlers, etc. And then buggies. And then touring cars. And as everybody knows, it just doesn't stop with one, does it? So, yes, we went down that route. And unfortunately, it didn't fit. So I looked on eBay, found a highly modified chassis of the CC01. No, I like the CC01. It's a Tamiya. Say no more. Got it. It's fully modified with racing, suspension components, etc. I couldn't figure out how, for the life of me, to adjust the wheelbase. So threw my toys out the pram, literally. That went onto one shelf. The chassis went onto another shelf. And then I found these bodies, which are 252mm wheelbase, which they do in the CC01. I didn't try to find the instructions for adjusting the CC01 I had, so I bought another one like you do, which came with the, what was it? It was a Toyota FJ body on, and it was 252mm. So bought it, got this one, which is a replica of a Niva I'd had way back. I think it was my first Lada Niva I had. Brilliant. Anyway, we won't go into the one-to-one stuff. So as you can see, it's pretty wrecked. And I did another body for it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these in a minute up close. Since then, I've bought a CC02, which is 267mm. So this body actually does have something to run on. And then I've got these up here as well. So I shall go through everything. And I think after this as well, we'll go through and do a comparison between the standard CC01 and the modified ones. So let's get up close and have a look at them all. So first off is the FTX Outback 2. This thing out of the box, love it. I haven't modified mine at all. And so it's basically as is out of the box. It's brilliant. Absolutely love the thing. I mean, there's not a lot to it, to be totally honest. It's got a tiny motor. But, I mean, for the money, I can't think what they were now, but for the money, I would highly recommend, if you've got a child that wants to get into crawling, I'd recommend something along the lines of these. I think for the money of it, I mean, I haven't modified it, but I've had brilliant fun with it. Crawling, okay, it's not the best of rock crawlers, but for going in woods, along the trails, etc., I'm more than capable. A lot of fun. The only slight modification that we've made is battery up the front, more weight over the front end, with the electrics at the back. You can just take the trays out and swap them around. That makes it a lot more nose heavy with the battery. I run 4,500 nickel metal hydride, and it lasts, if you're not doing the full send it lasts for ages. Absolute, well over an hour. Well over an hour. In fact, I think one day when Andy and I were out, we had probably nearer 3 hours just slow crawling, because, you know, we're getting older now. Don't want to do the whole running around after fast buggies and stuff. So, yeah, we took a leisurely walk, which is why we got into these. Right, let's talk Ladas. As I said, I love the Lada Nivas. While everybody was out in their Series 1s, 2s, whatever's, Land Rovers, I had a full size. In fact, I've had about 4 or 5 of them now, full size Lada Nivas. I've still got one sat in a storage garage, the same as this one. But yeah, so this was the body, which is a replica of one that I used to own way back in the day. It's seen some action, massive rolls, and, you know, just, I've abused it, but got to be done, hasn't it? And so we'll put that one to the back. This was the original chassis I bought. It's got full Year Racing steering upgrade and all the suspension upgrade, as you see, which apparently is great. Now, I've not done anything with this one since I've bought it. I tried to adjust all the suspension, through, as I said earlier, threw my toys out the pram, but I now have another plan for this one at a later date. It'll be something scratch built. So I am going to put that one back on the shelf, and it will sit there for a while until I gain the sort of confidence to build what I want to build. So that's way down the line yet. I've started to buy the bits to make it, but it's another replica, but it involves a lot of brazing and metal tubing. So yeah, hopefully that'll be quite good when it gets done. Now, this was the CCO one that I bought. Unfortunately, the magnets have come unstuck. I tried to use magnets on everything, but I can just, they are pretty tight. There you go. So it's got a full interior in it, full rally in there, which was the first interior I've done. And I'm quite happy with that. MCI decals. These Lada Niva bodies, the 252, they are from 3D Mosque Customs. What I will do, I will put a link for those in the description. I love them. The detail on this compared to this one, this is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And he does loads of Lexan bodies, and he's also on, is it Cults 3D Cults, the place where you can go and download stuff, and he also does the 3D printed hard bodies as well. So I have got a Facebook page or group for scale Lada Nivas as well, just because, and there's so many brilliant bodies out there. But yeah, I got these off of MCI decals. They're the Mercedes G-Wagon ones for the Rothmans livery, which I scaled down to a 12th instead of 10th. Yeah, well happy with it. I think it looks quite smart. These headlights are off of the Mark II Escort, the MFO1X kit. So I've got the shell without those on, but they should have lit up. But at the moment, all the wires have been pulled apart. So I will get that working at some point. So yeah, this is the standard chassis. The only thing that I've done with this, it's got the standard motor in it, 1080 hobby wing. But I've put different wheels and tyres on it to make it more grippy, and I've got the barrel springs on there. They are a lot softer. Now you can see them there, a lot softer, and it makes it a lot more realistic over the rough stuff. So the next Niva will be the original body. I decided to go with the CC02 chassis on this one. Again, at the moment, completely standard apart from the wheels and tyres. And I've taken it out a couple of times. It needs to go out more. It's brilliant. I'd love to do actually a standard CC01 up against the CC02 just to do a comparison to see how they perform together. I think this one will be slightly better off-road, to be totally honest, but out of the box again, once it's built, standard, can't knock it, can't knock it. I saw this one on a few of the Facebook groups, the CC01 group and Tamiya Legends, I think it was, and after seeing the build, and it then came up on eBay, had to have it. It's another CC01. It's stupidly modified. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do another video comparing the 3 CC01 chassis I've got, because I can go through and talk about all of the modifications and everything on this one compared to the standard ones. There's so much. But as you can see, Subaru Brat body. This is a Wild Willy roll cage mated to one of those generic eBay roof racks. It's the Lexan of the body. So it's been finished well. The back end's obviously been cut out, but I love it. I absolutely love it. I have got a Subaru Brat to build as well, to be honest. So, but that'll come in a later video when I do boxes. It's got 55 turn motor in and other bits and pieces, spotlights on the front, chassis has been modified and cut about, but yeah, just a quick view. So we'll do another video on this one, which I'll make sure I post after this video. So we started away from Tamiya with an FTX, so we'll finish with one. This one I bought off of Andy. He's got TRX4s and he wasn't really using this one much, and I wanted something a bit more rock crawler. So the Outback Geo. Took it out the other week. I will be doing a running video. We've got some footage out and about in the woods and on the coast down here. It's brilliant out of the box. A little bit top heavy, but I can get some wheels and tyres or metal wheels on it, make it a bit more bottom heavy, get some different axles on. This one will be modified extensively eventually. It's one of those things that I want to go down the scale route. I want to go as scale as possible. And this, I think, is a great platform for it. So much so, I have now bought the Run 80, is it? Toyota Land Cruiser body, which is the right wheelbase. And I've also found out that they do a conversion kit for if you have an SCX10. There's a body mount kit, which the body mounts apparently by locating this in the front of the chassis, and then there's 2 little holes for it in the back. You pull the back out and it clips on, so there's no other body clips, etc. And I've found that the SCX10 fit this chassis, so this will be at some point, once I've got all the other bits and pieces I want, it will go on there. The RC Run 80, they do a full chassis for this, which looks immense. I think it's something like 2.7 kilos just for the chassis and the gearbox, because the gearbox is all cast aluminium. But then I looked at the price, and basically I could modify the hell out of this and still have change. So that's what I'm going to do. So yes, don't know how I'm going to go about this yet, but I will take my time. The fronts needs sanding down. There's mold lines here which need to be rubbed off. Whether I go full weathered look, I don't know yet. That's way down the line eventually. So yeah, so that's the last one, the Outback Geo. So there you go. That's a little insight into my crawler trail trucks. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I will set to now and do a comparison on the CC01 chassis and go through exactly what the Subaru Brat has had done to it. And that'll be out in a separate video. And hopefully you've enjoyed this. Do the whole subscribe, likey thing if you want. I never know whether to say that. If you're going to like stuff, you'll do it. So, yes. Thank you very much for watching. And see you on the next one. Cheers for now.